Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We're excited about today's webinar. We're going to discuss SEO and eDirectory. Should be a great webinar. Uh, just before we get started, so we will be recording the webinar and we'll have a copy that we post onto eDirectory.com on the blog section. So if you want to go back later and see the slides or review, you can do that. That'll be on eDirectory.com, and you slide down to the blog at the bottom of the page and it'll be as a post on there. Also, if anybody has any questions or comments during the webinar, you can post them into the chat, and we will stop periodically, as well as at the end of the webinar, we'll have time to answer questions about this topic or anything else you'd like to ask. Okay, and with us today is Gabriel and Larissa from our marketing team. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Fantastic. And we have a couple more webinars coming up. We do these every 2 weeks. On March 19th, we will talk about the visual editor and customizing the look and feel of the website. And on April 2nd, we will talk about automated email campaigns for the directory. And for anybody new here, just very quickly about eDirectory. This is the platform that we sell. It is used to build niche directory style websites, listing sites, lead generation sites, all sorts of things. People use it for all different industries and purposes. It is highly customizable without coding through a widget-based editor. We have native iPhone and Android apps that connect to the directory system as well, so data is updated real time. And we've spent a lot of time with SEO optimization, so these sites do work, and the source code is available. We do have a source code version available as well. If you're interested in learning more, just go to eDirectory.com and schedule a private demo. And today we're going to talk about SEO. First, just a general explanation. Then we'll explore eDirectory's SEO Center. We'll have some on-page optimization with a hands-on demo and advanced SEO strategy and a review of some SEO tools. So with that, I will turn it over to Gabriel, who's our in-house SEO expert.
Hello, everybody. Hi, James. Hi, Larissa. Thanks for having us. So yes, let's talk about a little bit about how eDirectory and its SEO Center can help you to achieve your goals and actually make your website visible to Google, Bing, and other search engines. So whether you're new to SEO or if you're experienced person, marketers perhaps, so this webinar will show you how to implement a few strategies so you can achieve better rankings and drive more traffic. And the ultimate goal is to grow your business. Okay, so let's start by understanding a brief SEO explanation for if you're not familiar with the term. SEO means search engine optimization. That is to optimize every part of your website or make it more pleasant for Google, Bing, and other SEO engines to read your website, indexing it, and then ranking it. Okay, so for example, there are several techniques that we could use divided by on-page and off-page SEO. So we will talk briefly about what the most important of these SEO requirements and how the eDirectory platform has its covered for you, whether you're experienced SEO or if you're just a total beginner. The eDirectory can help you to grow your business and make it visible so it can be found on the internet. So talking a little bit, for example, about the meta tags and the URL structure here. So the meta tags, talking about the titles, the meta descriptions, and the keywords, these are a few of the ranking factors that Google counts when trying to suggest a website or a result for someone that is searching for a query, someone is searching for some kind of term, and then Google will read the web using the term where the user is making that search. For example, I don't know, I want to find some traditional pizza place in Miami, for example, and then Google will deliver those results, making the most to match the user's query as possible. For example, the website that contains the good descriptions, a good keywords that matches what the user is looking for, and a good content that will be shown on the search page for the user, and that will probably end up or solving the user's question at the moment. So that's the power of SEO, to bring your pages, your website on the front of what a user is looking for, right? So for example, I have an example of the meta description and how it works. I think you can see my cursor here. So this is a listing from our demo directory website. And this is a custom meta description that we wrote for this specific listing. And it shows on Google. So I am matching, for example, I am looking for a Mexican or a tortilla restaurant, something like that on Google, and it will appear because I have the keywords and I have the meta descriptions and I have the titles and I have the content that shows this page on Google. So, in a nutshell, the meta tags are what makes the Google understands hierarchy and what to search for when someone is making a search. Also, another important factor would be the structure of URLs. By design, a directory is super lean on making URLs, so it's super clean. That makes super easy for Google to read the website and to understand where a category is. For example, this is an anatomy of a good URL, for example. So you have the website name, and then you have the category, and then you have the content of the page that you are seeing. For example, here I have a listing for a gym or a fitness center inside listing category inside my website. So it's super simple. Same goes, for example, an article or a blog post. So when Google reads the hierarchy like this, it understands that, okay, so this is super easy to understand. It's not complicated. It will be served and indexed for faster than, let's say, if you have a super complicated URL and that is not the hierarchy inside your website is confusing, that might hurt your SEO. So out of the box, the directory is guaranteed to create super clean URLs that will be easier for Google to read. So have that in mind. Also, you can customize the slugs, which would be this, like the category. You can have, for example, a category of your website, let's say, I don't know, solar panels or energy companies, for example, or car rental, for example, stuff like that. And then you can use that to your advantage when you are trying to promote your website for a local SEO, for example, for a region, for a neighborhood. Let's say you have like rent a car in Miami or in Nashville. You could do that to help Google understand and serve that more locally using this lug as well. I will show you how to do this later on our demo. Another basics of the SEO explanation, that would be the tags, the header tags. For example, the proper use of header tags is essential for content hierarchies. eDirectory allows you to easily structure your content with the H2, H3, H1 tags, helping search engines to understand the importance of and the relationship between the different sections of your page. So, for example, when you see the my little content here, so I have the H1. When something is written, let's say you're writing a blog post on eDirectory, when you write the title down, it will automatically understand and tells Google and search engines that, okay, so this is the title. Google will read that as such. And these are the points you can use, for example, the H2 tag for the paragraphs or for main topics. And then for subsections, you can use H3. And if you have like deeper subsections, you can use the H4, H5, etc. So that will make the text that you are making much more easy for Google to read and index it. and that page can be served faster and can rank higher than account that is just like plain text, just a box of text with no tags at all. That Google will not will be relegated by Google if you are serving something like this that is much more structured and organized against, let's say, just a block of text that has no tags at all. A tip, so you can use the headers strategically, so they should guide readers through the content, not just for SEO purposes. So think of them as a chapters and titles book. So again, when you explore a little bit about the tags, you will see that they will come on, like the H1 is a big tag, like a big text. The H2 is smaller, H3 is even smaller. So you can create some text hierarchy as well, making the content much easier to read as well. And image optimization. So here comes to two things. Actually, one would be the size of the images. So when you import an image for eDirectory, it will be compressed, so it can be delivered faster on the internet. That's crucial. Site speed is one of the most important ranking factors for Google. So your images have to be like compressed, but at the same time, they have to have good quality to be shown on the website. eDirectory does that automatically. And also, since the web cannot read images, at least, I mean, it can do it via AI, but is still necessary to create an alt text. Alt text is, for example, when you describe your image, or you can use the listing name, or you can use, for example, let's say you have an image of a pizza, and then you can name that. Okay, so that's a pizza from a Miami restaurant. Then if someone searches for that specific query on Google and then go to Google Images, it's probably is really possible that that image will be read and shown to the user making that query, making that search, using the alt tag. So these are the main concerns here when talking about image optimization for SEO. And going a little bit more technical here. If you have the eDirectory version 15, you might be already stumbled upon our SEO Center. So if you have previous versions, let's say Directory 13, you might need to upgrade your directory website so you can get the new SEO Center for the newer versions. But you will see something like this. So what are the robots.txt? What is this tool? What does it do for your website against, let's say, Google or other search engines? So the robots.txt controls how search engines crawl your site. So with eDirectory, you can customize this file to ensure search engines are indexing the right pages and avoid duplicate or irrelevant content. Usually it comes out of the box already set up. This is an example that we have. If you don't know what it is, don't worry about that. It's already set up, but if you want to go ahead and edit, you feel free to edit as well. If you need some help from our support, we can help you too. But
one comment I wanted to make there, Gabriel, is a lot of times people create sort of like custom landing pages that are used for, different traffic generation techniques, and they want to make sure those aren't indexed by Google so that they can tell these specific landing pages, got traffic from some other source, not through the search engine. So that's one example of something you might put in there for, like, a folder of landing pages that that you should disallow from the editor there.
That's right. For example, if you have a specific categories for your landing pages, you just put here disallowed, and then / in the landing pages directory, and that will not appear on Google. That's right. And yeah, and the sitemaps, so it helps your search engines find your pages. So it's literally a map of your website showing its categories, the index pages, and everything that you have. Usually it is generated by a XML, like similar to an Excel file, which are essential for helping search engines discover and index your content. So this ensures your directory is always up to date on search engine results. So that's why when you make like an update on your website, it will take like maybe one day, like a couple hours to update, and then you see the new result, because the sitemaps have to be refreshed on Google, so it will show your newest content. Again, so it's still inside the SEO Center here for eDirectory. We have the sitemaps inside the Webmaster Tools. Oh, sorry, the sitemaps. No, the redirect manager. So, for example, the redirect manager, it ensures that the search engines are sent to the right page. So let's say if you have an article that used to bring you some traffic, but I don't know, for some reason you lost the category for that article, or if you are changing from a server to another, or you are changing your domain, and you don't want to lose that traffic that particular listing or that blog post drives to your website, you can easily redirect. It's super easy to create a redirection. Usually we call that a redirectory 301. That will simply meaning that you copy the old URL to one field and then select the new URL and paste it on another field. And what will happen is that eDirectory will tell Google that, hey, this is an older URL. If someone sees this on a search page and click it, you will send them to a newer URL that you are moving away from this website.
Yeah, let me just jump in there as well, Gabriel. So nearly everybody that uses this redirect manager, they're often migrating from some other platform somewhere else. You know, they had a WordPress site, now they're moving to eDirectory, that type of thing, and they just want to make sure that the URLs don't lose that traffic. The 301 redirect is an HTTP code for a permanent redirect versus the 302, which is a temporary one. So that tells Google that page used to be at that URL and now it's permanently moved.
That's right. That's right. And yes, inside your Webmaster Tools, you will have your SEO dashboard as well. I will show you a little bit further in our presentation. But you can, for example, tell Google to, hey, I index my website or not index if you were still working on it and you don't want it to be indexed. Enough on another few options that we can tweak inside. And for the general SEO settings, we have also these options here. So the search results would mean that, okay, you can toggle on and off if you want your website to be indexed or not. The OG image, for example, when you probably have seen it when you copy an article from the web and then you post it on your phone for someone to see, it will show an image from a website or for a video or I don't know, for a blog post. That image is the OG image. You can select that and make a custom one for your website. And also one of the most important things that is not visible, but it works, I mean, inside eDirectory code, that would be the schema markup. I'm not sure if you were here before. Last time on our previous webinar, I just touched a little bit about this. But essentially, the schema markup would be an agreement, let's say, between websites and Google, so that it structures any kind of data that you need and helps search engines to understand your content better. So eDirectory out of the box includes the schema markup for listings, such as local businesses schema. You can visit the schema.org to get a little bit more information on that. And that can improve the visibility of your website for search results. So here's a quick demonstration of how this schema markup works. So you see that this one has the schema markup. So it shows the ratings, for example, for the stars, and shows the images. Yeah, and this one doesn't. So this is the difference between making Google understand your content as a richer content, showing more information on the search page than a website that doesn't have that. Okay, so eDirectory out of the box has that. So if you fill in every single field, for example, in a listing, phones, if you have reviews, if you have images, that it is likely to be shown on the search page as well.
And Gabriel, we just had a question come in from Johannes on the schema.org, which was, how can I insert a custom field and then choose the right schema.org field definition to make sure that search engines are understanding which that field is. Johannes, that's actually a feature that we don't have in the base system to be able to sort of select a custom one. We have it all built out for listing type fields, but the custom fields, we don't have that done. That can be done right now, I think, with a very easy customization, probably. It is something that we've thought about including in a future version as well. So I think you'll see that out at some point. Hope that answered that.
That's it. So yes, let's just dive into our brief explanation here for the SEO. I will go to the SEO Center. So again, if you have a directory version 15 or over, you will see the SEO Center.
Gabriel, and just to be clear on the version numbers, our latest version is 13.6, and all this SEO Center, I think, is version 13 and up.
That's right. That's right. Yes, version 13. Yeah, so we have here a few options that we were just discussing. For example, you have the redirect manager. So if you need to create, again, you can also select how do you want your URLs to be displayed. If you want like simple straight website.com, domain.com or not. This is the HTTPS security check. So if you have out of the box the SSL encryption, the certificate here, you can check this. This is vital for ranking as well. Google often doesn't show websites that doesn't have the SSL certificate anymore.
Yeah, it creates a warning these days if you don't have it enabled on SSL. So it's pretty much mandatory. Our hosting comes with that. So if you're mostly that stuff is about if you're hosting with yourself to turn that on, but typically you leave that on.
That's right. That's right. And also here is where you can create your redirects. So just paste in your old URL. Let's say, like James mentioned, if you're coming from an older project, you're coming from WordPress, and you don't want to lose that traffic, just simply put here and then the new URL here and done. That's created. So Google will understand that, okay, if someone clicks on a website and then they will be redirected to the new domain. And if you have some questions, we have our knowledge base articles about the redirects here, okay? So super easy to find yourself. Going back to the SEO Center. So yeah, so again, we have the robots.txt, the editor here. So if you don't have experience with this, don't worry. You don't have to do anything. It comes already set up like this, just like a show. And you have a few articles down here as well on how to do, what it is, and how to format this.
And there's the robots.txt is an open specification for web browsers. It's used everywhere and the indexers. So if you want to learn more about that, you can just search and you'll find a bunch of information on the internet about what that file is, how it works, etc.
That's right. And these are the site verification tools. For example, for the Google Search Console, once you sign up for the Google Search Console, which is like the Google tool that will control everything related on SEO for your website, like indexing pages, search queries that people are looking for that will trigger your website, and much more, indexing, sitemaps, and stuff like that. When you register, it will give you a key similar to this one. You just have to get that key, paste it here, and then it will understand that this property is yours. So it will communicate with your website on the go. Super easy to set up. Also, the same goes for the Facebook Business Manager and for the Bing Webmaster Tools. They work basically the same way. Okay, the sitemaps you can see here. So this would be the structural organization of my website here. It's just for when you update something, it will go to the sitemap, and sitemap will tell Google, okay, so we have these new categories, these new pages, you can start indexing them as well. Okay, so for the SEO Center would be this. So I would like to show you how to actually do some SEO work on your website today. So you can go around your pages and tweak categories. I will show you a category, a listing, a location and a homepage on how you can start tweaking your website for a better SEO experience. So I will go to content for, oh, let's go to the page editor first. So I'll go here to design tab, page editor. Let's say I want to work on my homepage SEO. So you will see that I have my homepage name, and above this, I have the show SEO and advanced options. So I just click this tab and it will give me a meta description, which we were discussing before. So this would be a description that will be shown on Google under the website name, under your link that will be shown below your address. So here is important to describe your business, your website, using the keywords that will relate to your website the most. So if you run a directory, a local directory, I don't know, or a medical clinics, for example, it is much better for you to use the keywords that will match your business, that you can do some research to match what are users looking for when they are trying to search, let's say, something from your niche. Okay, so create an engaging meta description that will describe your website and at the same time will solve what someone's looking for on the internet. Also, the same goes for the meta keywords. We will recommend a few tools here in the end so that you can do some keyword research that will help you to find the better keywords that people are actually looking for when they think about the niche that you are working, okay? And this one is a tag for the header. For example, if you want to track something and you just signed up for, I don't know, for a service that tracks and you want to track your homepage, you just copy and paste a snippet of code here, and that's it. It will track everything that's going on to your website, depending on the service.
Gabriel, just to be clear on what that tag, add a tag is, often third-party systems request that you put a little tag in to either verify you're the owner of the website or to include something in there. And so it's typically interacting with the third-party system.
Yes.
We also have the Google Tag Manager setting in there as well, which is sort of a way to aggregate that.
That's right. Let's say you have, okay, I want to have like a weather widget on my website. Yeah, you can place it here on the widget field, the widget code, and paste it here and then save it. It will show up on your homepage. So yes, that's basically it and this works for every single page of your website, not just the homepage. Okay, so if you have other pages that you want to optimize for SEO, you can definitely do the same thing. I recommend that.
Well, we just had a question come in here, Gabriel, that I'm going to skip over. Actually, let me just answer both of these. So Warren asked, our listings go from H1 tag and skips the H4. What happened to the H2, H3 tag, and how does that impact the SEO for the listings? Warren, I'm not sure which version you're on or the widget sort of layout for the specific pages. But we'll check with you if you can note that, Larissa, and see what's going on with Warren's thing. I don't think it's honestly that major of a thing going to H4 instead of the H2 and H3. But we'll take a look and see what's going on. We had another question, Gabriel, just on that last screen there, we noticed that there were a couple little green G when you hit in the form fields. If you go back to edit there, somebody was wondering, Terry was wondering what those little G things were when you edited the SEO section there. Yeah, there's a G popped up, and I believe that's a Chrome add-in. Like if you click on one of those, click on the meta description there in the box.
This. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. This is just a Chrome widget. That's right. Let me turn it off.
It's a Grammarly, Grammarly, which
right.
helps you write and fixes the spelling and stuff. So that's just a browser add-in, has nothing to do with
Yes. Sorry for that.
Okay, great. I think that's it for now, and we'll jump in and answer more questions as they come in.
All right. So yes, the same goes for any other page, not only the homepage. You can do that for all the pages that you have created. Okay. Now moving to the modules, to the content modules here. Let me go for the listings, but the same applies for all the other modules like classifieds and articles. So let's say I want to optimize a listing for SEO. This is actually a very important part of the process that a listing owner would not do. They don't know how to do this. So perhaps you as a site owner can do this for your clients, okay? Okay, so let me edit this listing here. So the first thing that I want to touch is, okay, so I have all my fields here, and the keywords for search. This it does not refers to SEO. This is just for the search inside your directory. Okay, so if someone types in skincare, this listing will show up inside your directory. Okay, not on Google. So that's the difference here. So let's scroll down, and I will have my SEO fields right here. So I have the SEO title, and I have the slug. This slug can be tweaked and edited. As long as you don't have any other URL using the same slug, you can change. If you think that a perfect touch massage in skincare clinic is way too big, we can just, for example, make this massage skincare, and that will be show on Google like the slug for the URL. And here you will put the SEO keywords. So you can do some research. For example, let's say you have a niche directory in Miami, like we do here. Then I want to explore the massage and spa, head spas in Miami, skincare, skin treatment, you know, it's just like the beauty related keywords for me to put in here. And also create a meta description for this specific listing using the listing name, using the main keywords that the listing does, but don't just throw in words that doesn't mean anything together, right? Like a keyword and comma keyword. No, try to write a text that can be interpreted by a human, that will read this and understand that, okay, this may solve what I'm looking for. So you can do this to individual listings, for classifieds, for events as well. So this is something that I recommend doing because your sponsors, they probably won't do it. And of course, make the content rich, use good images, make sure that you fill in the summary description and the full description, the working hours as well, the titles, everything like that, the contact information, because this will make your listing more valuable for Google, because it will understand that, okay, so this has a lot of information that a user might be searching for.
And Gabriel, just one thing I wanted to add is some of these fields are more important than others. From what I hear today, the meta description and meta keywords, you know, the search engine Google hardly even looks at them. I don't even know if it's really a factor.
Right. That's right.
Google has something like a few hundred different factors that they use to determine which page comes first for a certain search. And those meta, I don't even know if they're in there anymore, but they're not very important. However, the page title is very important. The page URL is important. And a lot of other things like that, especially with images, it's really important to put in the image descriptions instead of just uploading the image. The captions and that kind of info is important there as well.
That's right. And of course, you can change the alt images, the name of the images that will make them recognizable in a Google search. Yes, and you can use the same logic for the other modules here. So yeah, again, just like James said, make the content has to be great. Not only the meta keywords, that doesn't matter that much anymore. Another thing that is important to explore would be the categories. So in the directory business, you can both rank a page, a unique listing, but also you can rank the categories on Google as well. That's pretty important. Let's say, let me take one category, for example. Let's go beauty and fitness. So the same goes for the title of the category. Let's say you can edit this if you're working locally. You can, for example, beauty and fitness businesses in Miami. You can do this, for example, and if someone searches for anything on that category, you will see that you will see that this title may appear on the Google search, telling exactly what a person is looking for. You probably have seen this strategy before, so you can do this on eDirectory. It's super easy. you can set up an image or an icon. Again, the page title, you see that it just changed it because I changed the category title up there. It changed the slug automatically as well. Once again, you can fill in your keywords that you have researched. You can create a meta description. And also, this is a very important field, which would be the content. Some type of websites, like when they have like a search by category, and then you have lots of listings and results, you'll see that they have on the bottom or at the top some description of what is that category and what it does and what is the website. That's a space for you to actually provide more content for a category page, because usually category pages, they're quite empty apart from the listings. So you can use this to your advantage to put more content here. Again, a good text that it is engaging or something like that, that will help your categories page rank higher on Google as well. And the last one that I'd like to show you would be the location optimization. So let's go to language and geography here. Then you have the location data. And then you have your countries or your states. Let's go.
We have some preloaded lists of countries and states and cities, I think, for the US and UK. But these are actually added when you import a listing into eDirectory. So if you import listings and there's no location for that listing, like it isn't already in the database, it'll create the location for you. And then later you can go in and optimize those locations.
That's right. And then, for example, okay, I want to, let me click here on states, just an example. And then I have all the states here. Let's go. Florida, I can choose to view the cities that I have. I have this amount of cities, or I can edit the state. Let's go view cities. And then you can go pretty deep and very specific, or you can go general. You can, for example, optimize your state or the city that you're looking for. Let me take one here, Coral Springs. You can edit city. And then you have the city name, abbreviation, like the postal code or something like that. Or if you have a nickname for the city, you can use it here as well. You can give it a name as well, like the page title, meta keywords, and the meta description. So you can see you have like a 360 approach on editing optimizing the SEO for the pages, for the listings and other other type of contents, the categories and the location. So that will make your directory and also the sitemap and the robots.txt, that will help your directory to be indexed by Google much faster and much easier than if you didn't have anything like that.
Gabriel, and one little technique I just want to mention, or one tactic that people often use, like with the slug URL, is they might put in some synonyms, you know, for the in the slug URL. So like New York City, they might put in NYC in that slug URL as well, or Beantown or something like that. Just scattering some of those abbreviations or whatever in throughout these is one tactic we've seen people use.
Okay, so yes, I mean, for the SEO center and what you can do with the SEO tools of eDirectory, that's pretty much it. So I'd like just to touch a little bit on strategies that let's say you already have a directory, that you already have content, listings, blog posts, and articles. One tip that I have for you is always focus on content. So great content is the backbone of SEO. eDirectory provides this tools to help you to optimize your listing descriptions, blog posts. We have this connection, this upgrade with the AI that can help you to write a little bit more better text for your summary descriptions or for your long descriptions as well. And do your keyword research on your niche as well. One thing that is pretty good to do, let me see if I have some blog content here. Let's see if I have something. What you can do is, let's say you're writing an article recommending, I don't know, something like fitness watches or fitness bands, let's say. You can do some recommendation, and if you have the links for a place that sells those kinds of products, any product actually, if you have, for example, a car dealer or car rental or electronics or food, for example, you can link internally. You can take this, you can, once you finish your article, you can definitely link your categories that you have on your website that matches the text, the blog post that you are writing, and also the specific listings. So you can do some internal linking to make that text richer, and also do external linking to external news. Let's say you are writing something based on a research. You can go ahead, take that link and put it on your website. This link exchange, internal linking and also external linking, that improves the navigation and helps search engines to understand your site structure. And eDirectory makes easy to make these links just on the text edit tool. Just go here, and then you can display text and then URL, and then you click OK, and then you can do that by creating more and more links between the contents that you already have. Another important part would be let me go to general set. Oh, sorry, the Google integrations. So you have the Google Analytics key here, and then the Google Tag Manager. Make sure that you sign up for the Google Analytics, because that will make your experience on collecting data and understanding the traffic that goes into your website much easier and with much more detail. So make sure that you do sign up for Google Analytics. And yes, I think for the demonstration, that would be it.
Okay, great. Let me run through the questions. If anybody has any questions, just go ahead and post them into the live chat. Oh, do you have anything else you want to add here?
Yeah, no, that's just a slide that I was going to mention. So analytics integration and internal linking and content optimization. And here at the end, these are three of the most famous tools for SEO. So we have the SEMrush, the Google Search Console, and Moz. So these, we have a good tip for you, is that moz.com/beginner's guide to SEO is a very comprehensive guide. So if you are new, or if you want to remember something that you already learned, but you just want to make sure, just go to the website and do the beginner's guide. It's a great content, a great step to get into SEO and understand what you can do with it. That's it. Let's go to the questions.
Okay, great. And Larissa answered a number of these questions already, but I'll try to hit the ones that she didn't answer, and maybe anything here that is worth mentioning again. One question from Rhonda: I transferred from GoDaddy several months ago, and I had organic search that was pretty good. It's no longer on the other location. Is it worth it to do redirects to capture the old organic ranking? Yeah, that's exactly what it was set up for. So with some time, it'll it may come back on its own, but I would recommend doing those redirects if you can, and setting those up in the redirect manager. That's exactly what that tool was designed for. Next question. James, if the URL is important, what makes a good URL in Google's perspective? Yeah, historically, the URLs had keywords in them instead of just some numbers or something. And then Google can tell that this page is about this topic. So that was one of the things in there. What makes a good URL is probably something short enough that has exactly what the topic on the page is. There's a question that also came in about what is the ideal length for the slug URL. The slug is basically, it just helps build on the end of it's the file name as you look at the URL. It helps build that URL there. What's the ideal length? There's a bunch of information out there on the internet, but it looks like people are saying 70 characters. Some people say 50 characters, a few words, not super long. Probably the shorter and more, direct and specific you can get it, something around those, I think is what posted in. I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to add on that. Next question, website loading speed is also a ranking factor. Yes. How do I accelerate the loading site speed for my shared hosting? Honestly, the biggest thing you can do is be really careful about the image uploads. Many times people don't optimize the image, so they're a little bit heavy. And then you upload these images and they kind of take a little bit longer to load. That's one of the biggest things. One thing I did want to mention also is our base code development team is working on a number of really great improvements for page load speed. And so it's our next version is going to have things coming out really quick. So looking forward to that. But yeah, just be careful about the content. The heavy images and that sort of thing often is the best thing you can do there. Next question, how can I technically make it mandatory for my sponsors to add the alt text image description text next to each image when they upload it into their listing? We don't have a way that isn't a mandatory field. I guess you could customize it and make it mandatory. I don't recommend doing that at all, though. I think you're going to find people don't know what it is. It's going to cause a support headache for you. I'd say let them add it if they know what it is, and otherwise you can go in and add it later for them as far as that goes. Let's see. Slug URL. Does eDirectory provide an SEO audit service of our site and tell us where we're weak and how to improve? We do offer a sort of a general SEO service as a monthly package. So we can reach out to you and see if you're interested in that to see, if you need some help on that service. So we'll do that. We do offer SEO services. Next question from William. Any plans to let the category become part of the URL slug to match the listings with their category in the URL? This is an ideal to handle SEO's example, listing/category/business instead of just listing/business. So the challenge with that category is sometimes you have a listing that may be in multiple categories. And so it can create duplicate URLs as far as Google goes, and it gets a little bit tricky. We have a number of people that when they do optimization of their sites, they just add it to the slug URL, whatever the main category is, or do something along those lines for it. But yeah, you got to be a little bit careful about creating the same sort of listing page under, if it's in 3 different categories, as far as how that's set up, so there aren't duplicate pages with the same URL there. Next question, how can site managers detect SEO errors, get SEO warnings? I think the way to do that is probably with a tool like SEMrush or they have these SEO tools that sort of track competitors. SEMrush is probably the one you want to look at, but there's a number of them out there for that. And it's typically an external service to do that. Next question. So for a good slug URL, if it needs to describe the page, it shouldn't just be a business name, but also include a descriptor. So it'd be better to say like Jane Smith, nutritionist, instead of Jane Smith. Yes, I'd recommend that. And maybe you want to put in, some people do the city name in there too. There's a bunch of ways you can do it. And it really, when you're doing that SEO analysis, you look at the content on that page and figure out what keywords you want it to rank for. And then these are things that you can do, these type of tactics here. Question, how much is the SEO service? I think it's on eDirectory.com under advanced services. I don't know I don't know. Larissa just posted in. It's $4.99 a month for 6 months. And that there is a lot of work involved with SEO. It isn't the most complicated. Like you don't need a PhD in it, but really it's just grinding away at the content and doing that analysis and getting stuff in there. So that's why it is. There is some cost to it because it is a tedious service in terms of just doing all the work there. Next question from Rhonda Little. I put in a word in the search box that opens on my mobile phone. There were several companies that should have come up under the word tax, but nothing came up. Must the search word be the exact name of the company? The general search does not work at all. Rhonda, there something sounds like it's up there. Yeah, it should come up if the listing is in the tax category. Depending, we can look at it and see what's going on there, but I suspect something isn't configured correctly on that listing specifically. It doesn't necessarily need to be in the title, but I believe it does need to be probably in the category. So we'll take a look at that. If you can note that one to
Yes,
follow up with Ron.
make sure that you fill in inside the listing the keyword search, not the SEO one, just so you can
Oh,
search that,
yeah,
and that will help your internal search to show
yeah.
that listing.
Yeah, so there's a field on the listing that says keywords for search, and you can put tax in there. You probably shouldn't need to, though. You should probably have a category or something that's going to make it come up in there, or in the description or whatever, for that. So we'll follow up with you and look, but that's our support team can fix that quick for you, help you figure out what's going on. Next question from Joella. Any advice of the image size even after I follow the required pixel size? Yeah, there's a slight change between the weight of the image and the quality that it comes out. So the higher quality, but usually I think you can go to something like 85% quality rating and it'll the image size will still be very tiny there. It's only the last couple percentages. Do you have a recommendation for image size, file size, Gabriel, in terms of like kilobytes or whatever?
I usually use the image from the Windows, the image viewer from Windows itself, so you can choose exactly how much you want to shrink your image or
Yeah.
how much you want that to be the final image. So it
Yeah,
comes
so that
with
yeah, in your image editor, there's some settings in there, and I would just say make
yeah.
sure that go to the level where the file isn't too big, but the quality is still very, very good. Usually, you can get it to a level where it's a small file, but to your native eye, you can't even tell it from the full size thing. And I think all of the image editors have some type of a setting in there that's like optimized for web or something along those lines. Okay, Charlene said we missed her other question. It's above SEO pricing. Let me see. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, on my homepage, regardless of what we do, our image on the slides doesn't look right. Is it possible to get some help with that? And do you have an image resizer that you can recommend? Yeah, so we'll put in a ticket for the image slides and we'll have somebody just check with you and see what's going on with that. As far as the image resizer you can recommend, I mean the classic is Photoshop, right? But I know I don't know any offhand. Do you know any, Gabriel? That may be something we can follow up with you as well. But any type of photo,
um,
like on a Mac, they
yes,
have the preview which you can use. I don't know on Windows has what some photo editor on
it
Windows.
has, it has, it has. You can test it out. I'm not sure there is actually like a golden pixel ratio that you can put it there and the images look great and not too heavy. But support can help you with that easily.
Okay, great. Could you guys design a mobile app? Is it kind of out of the box design? If yes, how much does it cost? So the mobile app is included with our higher level package, our enterprise package, and there's a mobile app builder in the site manager where you can go in and build it, build the mobile app, and then you download the file and submit them to your account on the Google and Apple app stores. And there are some configurations in there to change the design a little bit, but typically it matches your website design for that. If you want to learn more, you can go to eDirectory.com and just send a message to an account exec there. But yes, mobile apps are included, and there are some configurations. If we scrape images from Facebook, could that penalize us in Google? Yeah, I think there may be some copyright stuff around the scraped images. I don't know if I can give any advice on that. Do you have any advice on scraping images from Facebook?
I don't imagine that we will be penalized for that. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of, legal content and stuff like that.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's sort of tricky. We can't give any legal advice. But like Google, Google has this image search, and what do? They go out and they index everybody's images all over the internet and then put them on their own site. So it's somewhat similar. You have sort of a very niche Google search engine here, as far as that. I know some people do that tactic. I don't know if we can recommend it, though. Let's see. Oh, Canva has a resize tool. Yeah, Canva's great. Canva's great.
Canva's
So, oh, and we got another one pop in here. Johanna's I love image.com. Oh, to clarify the image scraping question, it's to help businesses build their pages for their own articles. Yeah, that most businesses obviously they're just trying to promote themselves, and so they won't have a problem with you putting their images up there for that. I don't know that that's bad necessarily from a Google standpoint at all, though. So I think yeah, I think it's helpful having those images certainly. Next question. When will the mobile app recognize submenus? We removed our app because we couldn't match our site menus. I thought we fixed that submenu thing. That was a while back, wasn't it? For the mobile app. Does anybody know the status of that? Do you guys know?
I will double check and follow up with you by email.
Okay. I think we already fixed that though. We'll check and get back to you on that, Charlene, but I believe that one was resolved. Well, fantastic. That's quite a webinar today. I want to thank everybody for joining. Any last questions? You can pop them in here in the next couple seconds. We'll have another
We will have the
webinar
survey. Yeah, we
in
have the
2
survey.
weeks. And yeah, Gabriel just wanted to mention the survey after the webinar. We will have a survey, so you can give us some tips if you have any webinar topics or anything else. You can put them in the survey there, and we'll certainly like to get the feedback. Well, great. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.